everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. In our last build we went sci-fi when we built Boba Fett's EE3 Carbine. And if you missed that build, we'll include the link in the description below to our channel's homepage so you can go over there and check out EE3 or any of the other super cool builds there. Now for this build we're going to go video game. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. Yeah, look at that, man. Woohoo! It's big, it's huge, it's totally grimy and dirty. It's the Plasma Cutter from Dead Space, yeah. Look at that thing, man. Tons, and I mean tons, of work. But it's not hard, there's just a lot of it. Look at that thing, cruddy, full of grime and dirt and smears that look like oil and scratches. Really cool detail when you're looking at it up close. Jamming. Alright, so in this episode, making an EVA foam Dead Space Plasma Cutter, part 1, we're going to begin going step by step through how to make this beast. And if you want to build along with us, we have a template. So we'll include the link in the description below to our storefront so you can go grab a template if you want. If not, just watch, that's cool too. Alright man, that's it. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Okay, here's where we start our mammoth plasma cutter build. Alright, we're going to start with the bulk of our handle, which is going to be a 24mm piece. We're going to cut these square edges off real quick on the bandsaw. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to come in and start cutting these 3mm pieces to go on that 1-inch piece. Okay, there we go. We're going to start there. Okay, now you know the drill with contact cement. You coat both pieces, let both dry, then it can make contact. Make sure we're flush up here, and it looks like we are. Okay, now we're anchored. Flush on this side and flush on this side. Now let's bend it into place. Perfect. Okay, now what we're going to do first is we're going to come in with just these pieces, all right? Okay, now we cut the outer part of our template out, and we're going to flip this around and lay it down right along the edge, all right? That's why we're doing everything off of these edges. And now we're going to take that over to the bandsaw and the scroll saw and cut it out. All right, check it out. Nice. All right. All right, that's it. Now we're just going to take our time and we're going to put all the little side pieces on. That's a pretty elaborate little set of pieces right there, but it was not hard at all right? Check that out. Now we'll take this 24mm dowel and we're going to put it right in here. There. Alright, so we've got our mark made. Right there. Okay, we're going to stick some double stick tape down on this wedge. Okay, now we've got a block that it's secure to, so when we split this on the bandsaw, the dowel won't roll on us, okay? So. Alright, there we go. Check it out. That is perfect. Now we can line up our edge right down the side. Look at that. Nice. Okay, now we're going to come around to this side and we're going to line our edge up there. Now we're going to... Alright, there we go. See that? You wrestle it in place. Look at that, man. Now we got that cool round top right there. Nice. Wow. Right we'll touch the top down. It's coming together piece by piece. Super easy too. Okay, now we got our tiny little 8mm piece. Okay, we're making the piece that's going to go in here. It's an 18mm and a couple of 3mm pieces. Okay, now we bring our template in. Okay, we're going to use our brass tube so we can cut this little corner out. We want a really perfect circle, right? So we're going to use this. There we go. All right, there we go. Look at that, beautiful. Now we'll go over to the bandsaw and we'll cut all the rest of that out. All right, check that out. When you send through the bandsaw, you get little frays on the edges. We want to clean it all off. Okay, now before we stick it down, we're going to round these edges a little bit. Slide it right up there to the front. Floats in there nice. Have a little gap right in there. That's nice. Cool. Okay, now we're going to come in with these 12mm pieces that are going to sit right around here. All right. We're going to tip our knife on an angle, and we're going to bevel cut straight through our piece, and then we'll come over to this side and we'll do the same thing. All right. Now we'll go over and we'll cut the rest of this on the bandsaw. All right, there we are. Check that out. Got the nice bevel here and here. Okay, now we're going to cut these little pieces out, but we're going to use a brass tube again. Not quite. We're going to go up one bigger. We might have to redraw this piece. Actually, let's not redraw this piece. Let's come in with another piece of 12mm right here. Okay, now we've got the space. We're going to come in with our brass tube. We're going to cut this circle. All right, sweet. Look at that. That's really cool. All right, we're going to get some super glue on this little base here. Flush on the back and flush on the side, just like that. Okay, we're using a lot of super glue on this one because we've got some meticulous little pieces and we don't want to use that big giant contact cement brush for some. See that? How they curve around the top in the air like that? That's really nice. All right, here's a couple 4mm pieces. They're about 7/8 of an inch square, and we're going to stick them right here. Top flush and the front flush. Okay, now for the piece right in here, there's our shape. It's a 6mm piece of foam. We'll line it up, we'll tip our knife, and we'll bevel. Then we'll do this other little tiny side over here as a bevel, right? There we go. Now when you flip it around, look what we have. We have a bevel at the bottom, right there and there. Nice. All right, let's do our edges real quick.
Okay, now we're going to take our little 3mm strips. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. All right, let's cut them out. All right, so let's get this little piece we just cut out as our guide. All right, there we go. And we're going to wrap it across. That's tight. Right in there and right in there. That is cool. All right, now we're just going to take our time. We've softened the edges on these little straps and we're just going to wrap them around. That's it. Take your time. All right, now we're going to make this little piece that's going to go on the back of our handle. It's going to be made out of 3mm pieces of foam. Measure the length of this. Right there, that's the length. Just like that. Okay. Nice, look at that. That's cool. Now let's slightly round that back edge off. All right, check that out. Softened back edge, that thing's pretty cool. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna shape the front of this, all right? All right, there we go. Just a soft round edge on the front of that. We don't want to... Okay, now let's see if we can clean up some of the glue residue where we see it. Okay, we're going to come in with a 3mm piece of foam. We're going to pop out 2 rivets. Puddle down there. All right, now we're going to start building the pieces that sit right underneath here. We've got a 36mm and a 4mm we're going to stick together. And then we've got these 3s, an 8 and a 12. All right, let's start right here. Now, let's cut this outside line out on the bandsaw. Okay, we don't need the 12 for this section. We're going to take the 3, we cemented it, we're going to stick it down on the top. All right, now our next section is going to be made up of a bunch of 4mm pieces and a 24 and a 6 stuck together. Okay, now we are going to bevel cut all of these pieces at the bottom. All right, we're going to come right through. Bevel cut. Now we're going to come in and we're going to cut this. Here's our template. All right, so now we're going to have to come in and we're going to have to flip this over and make our bevel cut like this. Then we got the bevel at the bottom and on the inside right there. Now that. All right, got our top flushed. That looks pretty centered. Complicated, but really easy. All right, now what we're gonna do is this is gonna sit right on here like this, but we're gonna send this through the bandsaw and we are going to cut off these wraps right here and right here. So we've got a flat surface. Get our front down. Get our piece down where we drew our Sharpie marks right there. Pretty complex, but not hard, man. You can totally nail this. Look at that. All right, now we got a huge 2-inch 48mm piece. We're gonna go over to the bandsaw and the scroll saw and cut it out. Nice. Just like that. There we go. Stick on. Okay, now we got this 6mm piece. It's going to go right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut a bevel on both ends. Like that. Okay, now we're going to build 4 of these little pieces for here, 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 and here. All right, we've got 3mm and 4mm. Like that. Okay, now we're going to come in with our template. There you go. This bottom cut, we want to cut a bevel cut on. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer our line around to this side, right there. We're cutting from the back side. Now don't keep your knife straight up, tip it. We're going to go right through like that. And now line up the front and then line it up right here at the top, right there. All right, check it out. It's got the bevel edge on this side, the little trench down the middle, and there's 4 of them. All right, now we're going to continue building onto this piece, and we're going to do 4 of these exact same pieces, okay? They're going to be made up of 24mm, 6 millimeter, and 3 millimeter. Okay. Now we're gonna. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is this little line right here indicates a bevel cut. So we're gonna just like that. All right. Now let's come over to these 3 millimeter pieces. We're gonna need one of the regular and one with these little marks on it. Just like that. Now we're gonna bevel cut this side. Go right through. We're just going to come right down our line to the edge of the other circle, like that. And the same thing over here. Start at that side. Come down our line. Meet up with the edge and pull it out. And that's it. Do the rest. All right, now we want this to be the top, so we're going to transfer this line around the side. Right here, right there's our mark. Go right through. Beautiful. Here and right here. Okay. All right, there we go. It's going to match up here and here, and it's going to slide right in there and sit beautifully just like that. All right. There's 4 of them. Okay, now these 2 pieces are going to attach right on the end of here, but what we want is we want about a ½ inch space in between them. Okay, so we came and found our center mark. There's our ½ inch space on both sides. So we nice, nice, nice. All right, we're tight right down in here and all the way across. Very cool. Okay, now we're going to add a couple little details right up here at the back and right here on the side. We're going to use a 6 millimeter piece and a 4 millimeter piece. 1 3/4 by 3/16. Now we'll cut those out. Tip our knife. Bevel right through like that. All right. Super glue down here in a puddle. On the corner edge. All right, there we go. On the edge and the top. And there it is there. And here. And there. Real simple. All right, here's the pieces that are going to make up our 2 little side details. We've got 2, 3, 4, and 8 millimeter. Right? There we go. Now we're going to take this 2 and we're going to stick it down to this 3, okay? Stick it down, tip our knife on a slight angle to do a little bit of a bevel. All right, now we're going to cut one side of this 8 millimeter with a bevel. Smoothed out. Now we don't need to worry about the line right here. We just need to stick it down on the piece like that. Stick it down. Okay, now we're going to come in with our template. There and there. Right. Have a little recess here, here, a bevel cut down in here to cause a little trench, and 2 bevels here. There it is, and there it is. Okay, now we're going to do the little tube that runs right in through here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a 12 millimeter foam dowel, and we measured our length from here to the edge of here, and we've got our 2 marks on here. And then we're going to take a 3 millimeter piece of foam. We did a test wrap to see how long it would need to be, and this, slightly tip our knife. Like that. Now we're going to come over to this side, and we're going to roll it a little bit too. Alright, now this doesn't have to be perfect because you're never going to see this seam, okay? But we wanted to try to get fairly close. Let's see what we get. There we go. Pinch your seam together as you go. Keep it nice. About 3 1/8, right there and there. All right, there we go. Super glue on the end. There we go. All right, we're going to stick this on just like this, with this bottom flush with this. And we made our marks. Okay, so here's our marks right here to glue, and we're going to cover this whole area. All right, now we're going to line our Sharpie marks up. All right, oh, nice. We got our tube touched in the back right here, and we've got good connection all through here. We're centered right down the middle, which we wanted. Holy smokes, man, check that thing out. That is a giant piece of work right there, but totally easy so far. This is really cool. Look at that thing. Wow. Swell. Wow, there you go. The bulk of the work is all done. We got almost the whole entire thing built, except kind of the claws at the front and this whole bottom thing down here. But other than that, we almost got the whole thing built. And you saw, like we said, tons of work, but nothing on here was hard. Just take your time, line stuff up, be careful, and bam. That's about it. That concludes making an EVA foam plasma cutter part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.